Hey folks, welcome back here to the VegasDon channel. We're here on the main streets of East Las Vegas, here on Spanish Drive, this is called. Approaching Stewart. There are a lot of calls for service in this area, especially late at night. From what we've seen, a lot of research we've been able to pull up on crime mapping, as well as on Ring, neighborhood reports, neighbor reports, things of that nature. We're going continuing northbound here on Spanish, here just past Stewart. Typically, there are property crimes, a lot of burglaries, things of that nature. This area has also tended to be a very popular area with car thieves, both in terms of taking and in terms of depositing what's left of the cars. We've seen that barricade up there at the end of Bonanza, up here, right up at the edge of the foothills there, Sunrise Mountain, Frenchman's Mountain. And a lot of that is because of the fact that there's no light out there, and they used to just be able to go out there and strip the car and really no one would bother them, and they would just dump it and leave it there. But then the county decided, okay, well, we're going to cut off the road here, Los Feliz, to everybody so that no one can enjoy it. And unfortunately, that was a very popular hiking spot for a lot of folks to go up to Frenchman's Mountain. And now that is no longer a possibility for those folks. They have to go all the way over to Lake Mead Boulevard in order to try and hike Frenchman's Mountain. So, you know, the one bad apple, again, ruining it for everyone, because now that ability has been taken away from regular folks here, regular law-abiding folks. Now westbound here on Bonanza Road in East Las Vegas. Again, lots of calls for service in this area. We get a lot of oh, and look at this. We've got a juice stand over here. A lot of property crimes in this area. I'm sure, again, he's fully licensed, insured, totally passed inspection by the health department, right? These guys are like on almost every corner here on the east side of town. I have no problem with them, personally. I worry about the business owners that have to pay for, you know, licensing to the city, the county, the state, as well as their property insurance or their business insurance, which isn't cheap, of course. If you've ever run a business, you know the insurance costs are ridiculous, as well as your health inspection and all that if you're dealing with food and beverages. So a little bit of an unfair playing field there when these folks, because if they're not paying those fees and taxes, and my guess is they're not. Yeah. Over here we have a fence, looked like a DUI. Someone probably went through that fence there and into the wash, is my guess, unfortunately. And that type of thing tends to happen quite a bit over here on the east side of town. It's actually, they say, Metro says actually that 20% of the motoring public here in Las Vegas at any given time, day or night, 20% is driving inebriated. So with that said, if you're sitting at a traffic light with 9 other cars, 2 of those other vehicles are going to be occupied by drunk drivers. So just something to bear in mind, you know, especially when people aren't driving safely, things of that nature, kind of letting the rules fly out the window, etc. Yeah, that's probably a lot of it right there, unfortunately. That was Christie Lane right there. We've done a lot of videos up and down Christie Lane. Feel free to check those videos out in our video library. We do everything Vegas here, all things Vegas, not just the Las Vegas Strip and Fremont Street, but everything Vegas, all over town. A lot of folks that visit here, they never get to see the real Vegas. Well, here it is, guys, over here on the east side of town, approaching Nellis Boulevard. Nellis, we've done a lot of videos up and down as well, so definitely check those out in our video library. Again, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys being here. 7-Eleven over there, $3.39 a gallon for regular unleaded. Cash price, $3.49 if it's credit. And we'll pause while we sit here at this light. Finally got the green light here at Nellis. Over here on the left, this is where the old Kmart used to be. And they are redoing the entire plaza now. It's supposed to be a La Bonita, and I think Ross is supposed to be moving in there, and something else. at some point very soon, is what I've heard. So hopefully that shopping center will experience a rebirth of sorts. Certainly the Kmart's has sat, for as long as I've been doing these videos, it's sat empty, so it's been a few years. But finally, as we go over one of the many washes here in town, these washes are used because the ground is so hard here that when it rains, it floods. The ground cannot absorb the rainwater, and so the rainwater just sits and moves wherever gravity takes it. Unfortunately, it often takes it into low-lying areas where unsuspecting motorists attempt to drive through it and get themselves stuck. There's a saying here in the desert, turn around, don't drown, because of the fact that there's so many flash floods that occur. They're floods that occur in a flash, or in an instant, that you may not necessarily be expecting. As we approach Lamb Boulevard here, another major north-south artery, $3.25 a gallon at the Arco over there on the left. And I can't quite see what the Circle K says here on the right. But Lamb is another major north-south artery here on the east side of town, traveling all the way from Desert Inn, all the way up north, just past the 215 Beltway into the middle of the desert where nothing exists, at least right now. We'll pause for a sec. Another thing that's interesting from this vantage point here when we're sitting here is you can see the Circa down there, and you notice how you can see the north side of the Circa even though we're facing due west. That's because downtown, the downtown streets sit at an angle, kind of a southeast northwest orientation, and so those streets upon which Circa is located there on Fremont Street are all at an angle. So back in the day when they first designed the roads and stuff, everything was at that angle, and now it's all pretty much a grid pattern surrounding all of that. So we continue westbound here on Bonanza. Also, please check out my wife's channel, Cinnamon and Jupiter, here on YouTube. She does some awesome astrology and spirituality videos that you do not want to miss. Very cool stuff, as well as my buddy Mike, Vids from Mike. VidsFromMike. He does some sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos here that you have got to see to believe. Las Vegas, city of Las Vegas. Mike Morgan Family Park. I don't see a whole lot of activity over there right now. And Taco Bell over here. And these kind of look like, let's take a little left into here, huh? Let's take a little left and see what there is in here. This is called Seashell Lane. There's lots and lots of calls for service in this area, guys. Lots and lots of calls for service. So it looks like each unit, this is like a condo or something, each unit has its own detached garage, whether that be for cars, etc. Bars on windows and doors, right there. And you never know what you're going to see here on the east side of town, so always keep your eyes peeled. It is a wildly unpredictable part of town over here on the east side of town. So we come over here. Lots of calls for service, but right now here during a very hot summer day, it doesn't appear that there's a whole lot of activity at this time. This is Honolulu Street here. Go ahead and break on out of here. There's that park we just saw. Also, shout out to my members, Tony Teresi, Tobin. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here and a part of the channel. Mater Academy over there. I hear Mater and I just think of the tow truck from Cars, the movie Cars, or series of movies. So now heading back westbound here on Bonanza. I did want to check that place out. Desert Pines apartment homes over here, that's gated. Much to the chagrin of anyone that may be looking for anything a little more nefarious in action over there. Smith's grocery store over here on the right. Would like to take a moment to say thank you so very, very much for joining us. We really appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Please like and subscribe. And as always, remember here on the VegasDon channel, it is the journey where what happens in Vegas stays right here on the VegasDon channel on YouTube. We'll see you next time, folks. Thank you so much.